Hi everyone. It is summary of the Python tutorial first introduction part. So we already started with Python tutorial and it was the first unit about introduction to Python. As you can see our diagram in here, we started with the numbers and we completed. And then let me tag it. All right, we continue with strings and we saw their string methods, like many more methods, maybe 12 methods. And we continued with the string formatting. Then we already learned about lists in the general. We already completed. So now let's look for the summary part. So it's in here. I didn't add anything. You can just add there anything else you want in description. So let me show you summary in general, what we learned, what we did. This is resources I used for this class. You can see all of them in here. I get help from Python documentation and Python strings again from the documentation. And I got this information, the most useful string methods from this website. And you can see in here, right? And most useful string formatting from this website again, and everything was there. I just explained it to you in good way. I hope you understand everything is clear. So yeah, this is the resources, you can check it in there. All right, that's all. Let's go to the here. All right, we started with the integer numbers, and then we learned about floor division, and we learned about float numbers, and we learned about modulo operator, as you see here, and we learned how to concatenate them, how to use this manipulation method to calculate things, right? As you remember, floor, modulo, and integer, float, and all of them in here. The second one is the strings. Let me come up. So first we start how to concat the strings in the way, and we just use plus operator to concatenate them. And after that we used again plus in here. Even we just index it, we just access it, the index of this strings as like a list. And then in here you can see we just slice it them like strings. Also we using the system into the list, and we just concatenate it in some way with the slicing system to the 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 strings. In here we just slice it and view it there, like how many items there, like in the strings ladders, and we just check them. In here we try to change the value of the string, but it didn't work, and we use different system for that. For example, down in here. So then we used like most useful string methods, which is we learned how to make join, like join string methods. We join it with the new cards into the discard. Sorry, with the multiplication sign. I mean, this sign to this uh, the items into the list with that one, like interval of them, and we use their range, and we just join it again with this multiplication sign, and we just iterated our for loop, and we saw there many more things same. And we have split in here. We use split, but by the way, split is just splitting the strings in some way. So specifically we just choosing value, and after that we just splitting from there with the like a list from string to the changing with the list into list of string. Okay, and we learned about what, let's come down. Okay, we already learned about split, else split, sorry, not split. Let's come down. I think this is wrong one I used in here again for the title. Let's come down. Replace method, sorry, this one will be replaced, by the way. Replace, by the way, this is not list. Replace, yeah. Replace method, we just change it Elon Musk with another name. In this case, sorry, not Elon Musk, we change it. Elon Musk is so smart, man. Hi, how are you? I think we did something different in here, not this one. We just changed it Elon Musk with the Bill Gates. and we just replace it some values like that, like exclamation mark, question mark, tree with the another value. So the another one is the strip method. We just remove with white spaces with the strip method. As you see here, we apply it on this text. Yeah, you already learned about that. If you didn't learn, you can watch my lessons in Python tutorial. You can see all of them. We just deleted white spaces like that. And we learned about lower, upper, and case fault. It was in case fault class. So you already learned about this method, case fault method, to return a case normalized version of the string. We just made our ladders upper, in this case low, some case lower, and some case for the bit system, binary system, we did case fault, I mean, to make it useful. And we make it on starts with method. Starts with is just checking if the ladder, like the word started with some ladders, it's just saying in the boolean like true or false. And yes, let's continue. Then we learned about ends with. It's just checking like the words in the words in the string, like the letters ending, verse is ending with what letters. It's just checking it again. It is like returning boolean value, but in some cases we can, if we run the for loop, we can see different things like in the list. I mean, it can give you some different solution. And we learned about what about split lines. Is just for the new line, which is we used for the slash backslash r backslash n for this guys, but most of the time it works for the backslash n. So it is so clear. I'm using most of the time this one, split lines, instead of split, but split is useful for the specific choosing, but the split lines only works for the slash n, okay, like new line. And we learned about format method. So when we want to format our string with the, if we want to add there our new values, I mean, we can use this format method to make our like text so clear, or like a template we can use for the templates, or even for your program in some case you can use that. And we have also f-string method, and we already discussed that in another class, so I will tell you about that too. So we already learned about count. We can just specifically choose in the words or even in the strings how many times a ladder or a number or like whatever else the like replying, I think, not replying, maybe like how many times it's there, I mean, I don't remember the words now. Okay, it's just checking it, and it's just counting it. We can count like if we have a lot of items or a lot of things into our strings, or even if the list, we can just check them. But for the list, we're using for loop. Like this is the way how we can check. But in another way, I mean, we need to convert it from integer to string, or from like string to list, something else. Okay. So we have also in here remove prefix. Remove prefix is helping us to remove the first part of the our text, and we can use for the list too. It is so helpful if you want to remove all of the for all of the members of the list and first part of the indexes and items. So we have also remove suffix. It's the same like remove prefix. We can remove the end of the words, which letters we want or which things we want to remove. And we can use r strip, even l strip. They are helping us in some way if you want to remove all the things. But remove suffix and remove prefix is just specifically removing how many times we want to remove. But in r strip and l strip, if you add there some letter, it will remove all of them. It will not remove one of them or even two of them. It will remove everything from there. And for that, remove suffix and remove prefix is so useful in this case if you want to remove some specific times, like specific numbers, like how many times you want to remove. But in r strip or l strip, if you didn't want to remove one or two or whatever else you want, like you want to remove everything, like if it is occurs in the text, you can just remove all of them. Even you can use also for the for loop, and you can do many more stuff there too. And that's all. All right, let's come to the now. So we already completed numbers. Yeah, now we can check lists. It is the list. We learned about how to slice it, how to display out, how to access the index of the list, how to slice and to use different from the right to the left and from left to the right, and how to concatenate list with another list values, or to how to assign it. And we just also learned into the list, like three times into the list, double list, how we can access their values in this way, like that. And we learned about how to assign a new value for like into the list. And don't forget that for the strings we can't assign new things. That's the not way. But for the list we can apply that. Okay, don't forget. But in the strings we can create different like new variable, and after that we can work on it. But it is just manipulation. You can't change string it because it is immutable. For the list it is mutable, so you can just work on it. Okay, you can assign new values, and even how you want you can work. So we learned about append method. Append method is helping us to add like a value end of the list. Okay, end of the list, not first index or second or middle index or anything else like that. And we learned about like to check the type. I mean, yeah, we learned also from right to left to check it. Even we learned how to specifically between some indexes, how to set, how to assign their new values, I mean, like that in here. And we learned how to make them empty, like not how to remove them with the slicing system, and even for all, and how to assign new value into that to show up out. And in here we just index it in two lists, and then we just concatenate that list into the app concat in here, and after that we just access in each value of them. Okay, that's all. So I want to just tag all these guys into the summary next to you. All right, I can come here, we already done, sorry, all of them. And I can come back to the here, not B, yeah, in here. And lastly, let's come here, copy that. Okay, summary. Yes, that's all I added here, everything done. So we can continue with another class. Another class will be about loops. Sorry, not loops, sorry. So the another class will be about, let's come back to the video. So yeah, here the another one will be the second unit. This one was the first unit we already done, like numbers, strings, and the list. Now the second unit will be about more control flow tools, which is we will learn about if statements, for statements, the range function, break and continue statements, else clauses on loops, like pass statements, match statements, defining functions, more on defining functions, and there will be summary. So first topic will be what? First topic will be if statements. We will start with if statements, then we will continue with others. All right. So I hope you enjoy it. We done this one too. You can add your quotes in here. So for the each of these topics, you can create it. So now we will continue with other one. That's all for about it. If you have any question, you can just put your comment below of my video in YouTube or in any platform. I mean, in Udemy or in any platform, you can use that. So that's all about this Python tutorial for the first part, first unit. We already done. Let's continue with the second part. See you there. Thank you.